Welcome to This Explainer. If you've been tuning into the tech world lately, you know we are living through literally one of the most massive technological shifts since the internet. It's wild. Generative AI isn't just some futuristic concept anymore. It's actively rewriting the rules of software, business, and creativity as we know it. So today, we're going to break down the definitive course roadmap for aspiring AI engineers. We'll be looking at the exact top 10 skills you need for 2025, and crucially, what hiring managers are actually prioritizing when you sit down for a technical interview. Now, to really understand why this matters, let's look at the sheer jaw-dropping explosion of Gen AI job postings. We've seen listings in this specific niche grow from a measly 55 postings back in January 2021 to nearly 10,000 by May 2025. That is a staggering growth rate of almost 200 times in just a few short years. You're looking at a market that is fundamentally starved for qualified talent right now. Okay, so here's the roadmap we're covering today. First, the Gen AI Gold Rush, then Foundation and Machine Learning. Next up, Language and Vision AI, followed by the Generative Core. Then we'll hit Deployment and Responsible AI. And finally, the ultimate skill, Agility. All right, let's dive into Section 1, the Gen AI Gold Rush. Generative AI engineers have rapidly moved from being, these niche, highly specialized researchers to incredibly sought-after professionals across literally all sectors. To put this in perspective, average base salaries in the US are now sitting around $116,000, with top earners commanding as much as $179,000. And honestly, keep in mind, that's before bonuses and stock options. The financial incentive to transition into this field is absolutely massive. But, and this is a big but, you need a lot more than just hype. You need a rock-solid technical foundation. Which brings us to Section 2, Foundation and Machine Learning. Let's kick off our top 10 roadmap. Coming in at number 10, Python programming. This is non-negotiable, guys. It's the universal language you need for libraries like PyTorch and TensorFlow. Building right on top of that, skill number 9 is machine learning fundamentals. Before you even touch Gen AI, you absolutely must grasp things like decision trees, supervised learning, and regression models. And that flows perfectly into number 8, deep learning and neural networks. You need to understand how CNNs process visual tasks, how RNNs handle sequences, and just generally how these neural architectures actually power today's AI. Now, here's a crucial warning for you. Hiring managers will flat out fail you in technical interviews if you just walk in dropping buzzwords without being able to confidently explain these foundational concepts. When your generative model is, say, producing weird results or just completely failing, you need to know why. If an interviewer asks you to break down backpropagation or activation functions or explain the difference between bias and variance, you have to deliver a clear, confident explanation that is exactly what separates the real practitioners from the pretenders. Moving right along, Section 3, Language and Vision AI. Coming in at number 7 on our skills roadmap is Natural Language Processing, or NLP. Mastering this means really understanding tokenization, embeddings, and context. Why? Because you have to handle messy human language. Humans use sarcasm, slang, typos. It's chaotic. Then at number 6, we have computer vision and generative models. For this, you need to get your hands dirty with GANs, autoencoders, and diffusion models, so you can build systems that literally generate images, 3D models, and video out of thin air. And the sheer scale of demand here, it is staggering. The NLP market alone is projected to hit a mind-blowing $43 billion by 2025. Because the market is just that massive, companies are paying a serious premium. We're talking top experts in NLP seeing salaries push well past $231,000. And over in computer vision, companies like Meta are paying up to $230,000 for skilled engineers. Getting machines to see and create is vital for everything from augmented reality to autonomous driving, so the payoff is huge. All right, into the brain of it all. Section 4, the generative core. At number 5, we hit transformers and large language models. Transformers completely changed the game, didn't they? They're the engines making tools like Claude, Gemini, and GPT actually work. Knowing how these massive models are trained, fine-tuned, and deployed is simply mandatory today. And sitting right next to that, at number 4, is prompt engineering. Because, look, you can have the most powerful LLM in the world, but it's completely useless if you don't know how to effectively communicate with it. Prompt engineering is so critical because even a tiny microscopic change in your wording can completely transform an LLM's output. We're not just talking about typing queries into a chat box like a casual user. It's about providing context, assigning roles, defining strict output formats, and building structured logic that the AI can seamlessly follow to produce a highly specific, targeted result. The market has totally woken up to the fact that the quality of your output is entirely dependent on the quality of your input. I mean, companies are offering anywhere from $95,000 up to $270,000 for a role that literally did not exist a few years ago. It just goes to show you how vital proper AI steering has become. So, if you want to stand out in an interview or just on the job, you have to prove you can design prompts that are structured, reusable, and consistently reliable. Hiring managers are definitely not looking for someone who just gets lucky with a prompt after 10 tries. No way. They want an engineer who understands chain of thought prompting, role prompting, and how to programmatically control AI behavior so it fits neatly into an automated business workflow. Next up is Section 5, Deployment and Responsible AI. Getting to the top of our list, skill number 3 is data engineering and MLOps. Listen, the absolute best AI models are entirely useless without clean, structured data pipelines and automated deployment workflows. You've got to know how to monitor models in production and automate retraining when data inevitably drifts. Then at number 2, we have responsible AI and ethics. This is a big one. These systems are genuine legal and reputational risks if they are biased, unsafe, or non-compliant with data privacy standards. So put that into perspective, by 2025, nearly half, 47% actually, of large organizations report having experienced critical issues tied to AI bias or privacy. Because of that, mastering responsible AI transforms you from just another developer into an essential corporate leader. Companies are desperately searching for engineers who can build ethical guardrails, stop models from generating harmful content, and make sure their products are trustworthy and legally sound. And finally, we reach the top. Section 6, the ultimate skill, agility. Because generative AI tech evolves faster than literally anything in human history, adaptable engineers who are constantly learning are the ones who are going to thrive. This is perfectly showcased by the massive 35 times growth we're seeing in broader IT roles that are now integrating Gen AI. Honestly, what you learn today might be outdated in 6 months. The absolute best engineers aren't just coders. They are constant learners, experimenters, and adapters who are completely comfortable with rapid iteration. So as you look at this completed roadmap, all the way from Python and machine learning up to MLOps and agility, I have a question for you. Which specific skill are you tackling today to make sure you aren't left behind in the generative AI revolution? The opportunity out there is massive. The roadmap is clear, but the execution, well, that's entirely up to you. Thanks for joining me on this explainer, and get out there and keep building those skills.